Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you new techniques for your multiple pod lights installation project, especially if you have no access from above the ceiling, no prior wiring, or no power source. This video is going to make your project easy to accomplish. As you can see, this is the end result. I hope you find this video helpful, so let's check it out. Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install 6 LED pod lights. We're going to install them here because when I bought this house, this room came with no lights at all. All right, the only thing it came with was with a junction box that's in the side of the dining room. That's it. I was lucky though because my family room came with 6 pod lights installed by the builders. So we're going to use the measurements that he used and we're going to apply them here in this room. All right, as you can see, I've already pre-drilled the holes because I wasn't thinking of making a video out of this. I was just going to light it up, but I've noticed that YouTube has a lot of videos where they show you how to make how to install multiple pod lights, but they always have straps, right? So that makes it easy to run the wires. So by in the real world, like in my case, sometimes your joists are going to be attached directly to your ceiling. So it's going to be very difficult to run the wires, correct? That's what they say. Sometimes they tell you to open up the ceiling in order to make the holes in the joist. I'm going to show you how to avoid all that stuff. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use your creativity and make the holes in the joist. Sometimes we're even going to make holes in 3, 4, 5 joists in a row. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that. This project consists of 3 stages. The first one is to get the measurements and drill the holes. The second one is going to be how to run the wires. Third is going to be where to get the power from. All right, so first things first, this is what we're going to do. For the first stage, we need these tools. We need a wall laser level, we need a measuring tape, a stud finder so we can find where the joists are located, which is also a live wire detector that we also need to know about the wiring, what's up there, if anything at all, right? Then we're going to use a green painter's tape to mark the measurements. And lastly, we're going to need a hammer drill with a 4-inch hole saw to make the holes. All right? But since the holes are already made, I was going to cover them with the cutouts. That way it makes it easier to explain how I did the measurements. Because we're going to do 2 lines of lights. 3 lights in each line, right? So let's begin. Okay, these are the measurements that the builder used. 28.5 inches from the window to the pod light, 2 feet from the side of the wall to the pod light, 6 feet between pod lights, and then he separated the next set of lights by 4 feet. Since the dining room and living room are combined in this open concept area, we're going to make some adjustments. Okay, the measurements we're going to use for the living room are as follows. 2 feet from the side of the wall to the pod light, 4 feet to separate the 2 lines of lights, 5 feet between pod lights, and 25 inches and a half from the wall to the pod light. All right, guys, we're going to start with the measurements. The first one we're going to do is from this wall to here, which is going to be 2 feet. All right, 2 feet right there. Now, the second measurement is going to be from that point to where the center of our first pod light is going to be. 28, if we go by the measurements from the family room, it would have been 28 inches and a half, which would have been right here. But I'm going to show you why I decided to go back 3 inches less to 25 and a half. That's because right here, I found that the joist was right there on the point where 28 and a half is, right? So to avoid that, I went back 3 inches. I'm going to show you with a stud finder so you can see what I mean. Hopefully you guys can see this. If not, at least you can hear the beep. Right there. You see that beep? That means there's a joist right here. going this way. All right, and that's the reason why I decided to go back 3 inches. All right, guys, so we're gonna use the wall laser level now. Again, we're gonna put it right here where we put the mark with the tape. And we're gonna match that to the other side of the wall, where you also had to measure 2 feet from the wall to where the tape is. That way we have a nice straight line. As you can see, the laser is going right here to the center of this spotlight. And that matches the green tape, but it's also gonna match the center of the other 2 spotlights over there. All right. Another thing you need to do here, you know that 25.5 you measure from the wall to the center of the spotlight. You also need to mark it from this wall and just mark it here. Okay, that's going to help us to use the laser later on for the second light that's beside this one. The next measurement is going to be from the center of the spotlight right here, and we're going to follow the laser line, and we're going to measure 5 feet, because our spotlights are going to be 5 feet apart in this room. And again, you guys need to mark from this point now, from this mark to the next mark, which is 5 feet as well. Okay, so again, we're gonna do the same thing now for the third one. We measure 5 feet from here to the next one, and 5 feet from the wall, and mark it on 5 feet on that side as well. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do the measurements here. So now we're gonna use the laser level to help us do the measurements for the last 3 spotlights. So let me mark it right here. Right there, okay? So we got the 25.5 inches here. We're gonna match to that point, which is also 25.5. So that's gonna give us a straight line. Okay, let me go there in the center, right there, perfect. Okay, hopefully you guys can see. I turned off the lights, that way you guys can see the laser. So here it is. It matches the first center of the spotlight, and it goes to the next one. So now we're gonna measure from the laser going this way. We're gonna measure 4 feet from the first spotlight that we marked to the one that will be going to the side. That's 4 feet right there. Yes. All right, guys, once we have all the locations marked up, we're gonna start drilling. For that, we're gonna use the hammer drill along with the 4-inch hole saw, okay? So what you do here, you put on number 1, put on drill, number 1, because you don't need to go fast. You have to go slow. And you put it in reverse, okay? So all you have to do is put the pilot bit right on the mark, the center of where the pilot is gonna be. You go against the ceiling and then just go in reverse slowly, like that. Okay? Let me get rid of this. And this is gonna be the end result. A beautiful hole. As you can see, now we got the 6 holes in the ceiling, nicely spread out. So now we're gonna continue with the wires. All right, guys, so we're ready for stage 2. In this stage, the tools you're gonna need are impact drill. I know we used a hammer drill in the first stage, but in this stage, we need a smaller drill so we can fit it through the holes in the ceiling, all right? You're gonna need a 16-inch spade bit. The width of the head is 3/4, all right? You're gonna need a 12-inch extension bits, okay? You're actually gonna need 4 of these, all right? So you can attach them so you can reach every joist that you need. Another extension bit you'll be using is the 6-inch extension bit. This is going to be very helpful, just in case you run out of room in the joist cavity, so that way you can attach it to your drill. You're also going to need the 14-2 wire. All right, this is what we're going to be running through the joist. All right. Another important tool you're going to need are these. This is called a borescope by Klein Tools. Okay, this works with your Android, and this is called an endoscope. You have many types out there, so whatever works for you. All right. So that's going to help you see through every cavity that you run into. All right. To look out for wires or water pipes or anything like that. All right. Another thing you're going to need is this fish tape. This is going to help you run the wires through the holes. All right. So that's it. That's all the tools you need. So let's get to it. Okay guys, so we're ready to make the first hole. All right. So for that, we're going to use the 16-inch spade bit, and we're going to drill it from the outside. Okay. This will be your first hole. So what you do, you're going to go in an angle. Try to get as close as you can to the ceiling without damaging it, okay? And the hole has to be just below the middle of the joist, all right? Here we go.
Or you can use option 2. To do it this way, you're going to have to place the impact drill inside the joist cavity and use a 4-inch spade bit.
So that's our first hole. Every time you make a hole, you're going to have to make sure you're going with a borescope to make sure there's nothing there, right, between the joist. I know there's nothing there in my ceiling because there's no wires running, because there was no lights at all, like I told you, right? But just to make sure, use a borescope every time you make a hole to check between the joists, okay? All right, so it's very easy. Just put it inside, put the camera inside, check, and it will give you access to what's between the two joists inside the cavity there. All right, there's nothing there, so we're good to go. All right guys, so now we're gonna make the second hole. All right, but before we do that, the first step is to put this inside the hole here. Okay. All right. Then we use a 16-inch spade bit. We put in the hole that we just made. Don't put it all the way in because you need to attach it to the extension bit. Because the cavity here is only 14 inches. If I use a 12-inch extension bit, it's going to be too tight, too far back. I won't be able to attach the impact drill. So in that case, I'm going to use the 6-inch extension bit. All right. Just to make the second hole, because the first hole is right here. The second one is about here, about 12 inches to 14 inches apart, right? So I'm gonna attach it. There we go. Now it's attached. Now I can push it all the way in until I hit the board, the joist. Now I'm hitting it, and the end of the extension bit is right here, so I can easily attach it to the drill.
Okay, at this point, I've already drilled the third hole. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put the spade bit through the first hole and then add an extension bit so we can reach the second hole. As you notice, the first hole in the joist is a bit low. That's because I missed my mark, when I was showing you option 1, how to drill from outside. But that's okay. The second and third hole, they're pretty much in the middle. So now we're through the second hole. And again, we're going to have to attach another extension bit so we can reach the third hole. Just got to twist and push. Twist and push. See, there you go. Now we're through the third hole. Now we can see joist number 4. That's where we need to drill a hole now. So to reach that joist, we have to add another extension bit. We just twist and push, and then we're going to be ready to drill. So here we are. We're drilling hole number 4 now. See, it's pretty much in the middle of the joist. Then we have to add a final extension bit so we can do number 5. Now we're drilling hole number 5. We're through the joist, and that's it. Now we have all the necessary holes that we need to reach the middle spotlight.
Okay guys, so this is how much extension we needed. I don't know if you can see it. So we 4 extension bits, 12-inch, and a 16-inch spade bit. And this is what it looked from the inside there.
Now we're going to run the fish tape through the holes. To do this, you have to cut 7 feet of fish tape, tape it to the spade bit, and then just push it through the holes. Then attach the 4 extension bits so you can reach the 5th joist. This is the best way to do it because if you just want to use the fish tape to run it through the joist, it's going to be very difficult because the fish tape bends and you have to go through 5 holes. So good luck with that. Okay, this is the best way to do it using the extension bits. Once you reach the 5th joist, just cut the fish tape loose and then pull back all the extension bits and the spade bit.
Alright guys, so now we're going to run the wires. But before we do that, we're going to install a couple of boxes here instead of doing it up there. It's much easier and I can show you how to do it, okay? For the first 2, we're going to need 4 feet of wire, okay? And now we're going to install a couple of boxes. We're working with a 4-inch LED pod light, okay? This is how the box looks like, and this is how the actual pod light looks like, okay? Alright, so we're gonna install a couple of boxes like I said. This is what it looks like inside. Okay, we got the push-in connectors, which makes it easier to do the wiring. Alright. Okay, but first we have to strip the wire. You can strip about 1 inch. Okay, then we're going to strip the sheathing about 3/4. Okay, we use a 14 gauge, of course. It's kind of hard to see, guys, so make sure you guys got the right gauge. Twist it and just push it out. Then you just use the first one as a reference, so that way you don't have to measure again. So right here, again, 14 gauge. Twist and push it out. That's it. I'm going to use a pliers for this. Twist it off. There we go. That's simple. Then the cable connectors, you put the taper side first, okay? And that's how it goes. All right. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to connect to the push-in connectors. Okay, so of course just go by color. Black one goes to the black. Okay. Just push it in. There we go. Has to go all the way in. The white wire. And then the ground wire. Okay. So that's it. Just push it in and then close the box. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing for the second box. Okay, we're gonna put the wire connector first. Okay, but only this time we're not gonna put a single wire. We're gonna put two, because this wire is gonna go through to the third box, right? And it's gonna travel like a longer distance. It's gonna be like, remember the pod light in the middle is about 5 feet away from the first one, right? So it's gonna be, the wire is gonna be about 7 feet long. Okay, so we're gonna put two wires into this box, into the second box. Okay, all you gotta do is match the colors. That's how easy it is. So that's all you have to do. Okay, so we did the first box with one single wire, and this box has two, because we're gonna continue the connections, right? All right, guys, so this is how you connect the wires to the box. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to run the wires through the holes that we made. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take the wires that was 7 feet long. We're gonna tape it to the fish tape. Okay, remember we put this one, it's all the way in the other hole now. Okay, so we're just gonna use electrical tape to do this. Okay, as you can see, we've already installed the pod light there. So the wires are gonna be going from there to here, and from here we're gonna run the wires to the middle. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, guys, so now we're gonna try to pull the fish tape, and hopefully we get the wire too. Okay, so we're gonna start, well, actually we're gonna start pulling it straight from the hole. Okay, don't pull it from here, because you might run into problems if you do that, because that tape might come off from the wire. Okay, so you wanna go straight to the hole and pull it from there. Okay, take your time. Okay, oh, I got it. Perfect. Oh, here we go. We did it. This is how you run the wires. All right, guys, so now the wires that we run through the joist, we've connected into the box, and we added an extra wire to take it to the next pod light, right? So this is done. So that's the end for stage 2. You just repeat what we did at the beginning of stage 2, repeat it to get to the last 2 pod lights. All right, I'm not going to show you that because it's going to be repetitive. So that's going to be the end for stage 2 again. And now we're going to continue with stage 3. At this point, we've connected the wires to the boxes. As you can see, some of them are hanging, some of them are not. It all depends on the length of the wire that you cut. Okay, for the very last one, we've connected a wire that's 14 feet long. That's because that's the one that's going to go behind the wall to our power source. All right, but next we're going to connect the pod lights to the boxes. Now I'm going to show you how to connect the junction box with the pod light itself. Okay, I'm going to show you here. It has a little arrow here. Okay, and we have an arrow here too on the other on the junction box wire. You just line them up, as you can see. Just line them up, push it in, and that's it. And to secure it, you just twist this cap on. And that's it.
To place the pod light to the ceiling, just lift the spring clips one at a time and put it through the hole.
Alright guys, so now we're in stage 3. Okay, for this stage, all you need is this. You need a receptacle test kit, a screwdriver,
A new receptacle, a decorative wall plate,
and a 14 feet 14-2 wire. Alright, so let's begin. What I've learned is that we have a switch outlet, the switch being on that side of the room and the outlet being on this side of the wall.
Okay, now I'm going to show you another new technique. As you can see, the opening in the drywall is a little too big for the electrical box, but we're going to use that to our advantage and use the gap above the electrical box to run the wires. Then we're going to conceal the opening with a wall plate.
Now we're going to test the switch outlet. Right now, it's on the off position. We have the plug tester on the top half of the receptacle on that side of the wall. So let's see if it works. Let's turn it on and it lights up. Let's turn it off. Now it's off. So now we know that this switch controls the top half of the receptacle. Now we're going to test the bottom half. Now we know the bottom half of the receptacle has constant power because the light's on, even though here the switch is off. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to replace that broken receptacle with a new one. So that way we have constant power. And we're going to use this switch to control the pod lights in the ceiling instead. Alright, to do that, we're going to run the wires from the bottom all the way around the bulkhead and into the joist cavity and connect it to the closest pod light. Alright, that's the easy way to do it. Okay, we could have run the wires this way, behind this wall and into the switch, but that would have been too much work. We would have had to open the wall, make a hole in the ceiling, and do all the stuff that we're trying to avoid. Like I said, we're going to use our creativity to solve any problems that we might run into. Okay guys, before we start working with the receptacles or light switch, we need to shut off the power at the breaker. Alright, let's be safe. Alright guys, so now you're going to get a better picture. Okay, so this is the 14-2 wire that's coming from the breaker, which is giving power to the bottom half of this receptacle. Okay, and this is the 14-3 wire that's taking power. This is taking the power to the switch, and this is bringing back the power to the top receptacle here, controlled by the switch, of course. Okay, so we're just gonna cut this loose. Okay, so now I've cut the wires loose. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this. Okay, here you're gonna have to use the borescope to check what's behind the wall. Okay, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna put the fish tape behind this, behind the wall, and just push it up. There shouldn't be any obstructions because you're only working with studs here, right? Here we go. See, there's no obstruction. All right, guys. So once you push the fish tape from the bottom, from the outlet, all the way up around the bulkhead, now we're able to see the tip. So what you need to do, you need to cut another piece of fish tape, bend the tip, make it into a hook, that way, and tape it. That way you don't pinch any wires that's there. All right?
Okay, now you're going to use the hook to reach the fish tape. Just push it in. Once you reach it, just hook it and pull it back towards you very gently.
All right, so now all we have to do is tape the wire to the fish tape and pull it back down. All right?
Pull the fish tape gently around the water pipes and out the wall. Once you reach the cable, keep pulling gently and pull enough length so you can put it inside the electrical box. Now that we have enough cable to work with, we're going to put the cable through this bottom hole inside the electrical box. And this is how we're going to do it. Put the cable through the hole, and to get more length, just pull down the cable that's coming from the ceiling, and then put the cable from the hole. Go back and forth. Now we have all three cables ready to be connected to the receptacle.
Okay, so now we're gonna get the receptacle ready to connect it to the 3 wires that's in the box, okay? But before we do that, we're gonna have to do 3 pigtails, all right? So you just got a piece of wire and you just cut it open and just pull the 3 wires here, okay? So we're gonna create the pigtails now, all right? 1 wire. Just curl it. Okay, so the ground wire goes here on the green screw, okay? And then we're gonna tighten it.
The white wire goes on the silver screw, and the black wire goes on the brass screw. Make sure the screw is nice and tight.
And that's it. So now we got our pigtails ready.
Okay, first we're going to connect all the white wires together. Then we're going to connect the black wire that's going to the pod lights with the red wire that's going to the switch. Then we're going to connect all the black wires together. And lastly, all the ground wires together as well. Finally, we're going to screw the receptacle to the electrical box and hide all the gaps with a decorative wall plate. Now we're going to check the top and bottom of the receptacle to see if it has constant power. Which it does. Okay, so now we're going to test the switch that's going to be controlling the pod lights. Now we're going to turn it off. So it works.